Hey guys, it's Chris. Today we are going to be talking about RVibrake Shadow error codes. We did a video a while back talking about RVibrake 3 error codes, and we know that was super helpful for you guys, so we wanted to do one on RVibrake Shadow because like the RVibrake 3, the RVibrake Shadow has some built-in error codes that can help you to diagnose an issue if you're in a pinch, or maybe for whatever reason you can't get a hold of us, maybe it's a weekend or something when our support staff isn't in. It will help you to be able to diagnose some of those issues and then maybe troubleshoot them and potentially even resolve them yourself while you're kind of on the road. So let's take a look at some of them. So error code 01 is the first error code we'll look at, and error code 1 basically means that the shadow box and the booster box are not communicating with each other. Something's wrong typically in these cases with the 6-pin cable that runs between the two of them, and it's usually as simple as maybe a connection is loose or something like that. So what you'll want to do if you ever see an error code 01 on a shadow is to unplug both ends of the 6-pin cable and reinsert it nice and firmly into both units. If the error persists after that, you'll want to reach out to us because at that point we have to determine is the issue on the shadow box's end or the booster box, and that does get a little bit more complex, so we'll walk through that with you either on the phone or via email or chat if you reach out to us. Next up is error code 02. Error code 02 basically means that the accelerometer chip, which is the piece inside the shadow box that's governing the inertial components, has stopped reporting data, and oftentimes all that means is it needs to be reset, like any computer. So what you'll need to do is just reset the accelerometer in the shadow box. The best way to do that to start with is to pull the inline fuse on the shadow and leave it out for about 60 seconds, a full 60 seconds. We need it out for a minute. And you'll also want to make sure that your RV and your towed vehicle are disconnected when you're running through that process. So start there. If that doesn't work, then what you'll need to do is you'll need to pull both the positive and negative cables off the battery with the RVibrake Shadow box. And you'll want to hold them together so that they're touching for about 60 seconds. Again, we want that full minute because that's very important for resetting the power. So once you've held them together for about 60 seconds, you can reattach it to the battery and the error should be cleared. If the error persists after this, you're going to want to reach out to us because at that point the shadow box likely needs to be replaced or repaired or something of that nature. Next up are error codes 3 and 4. These are really, really rare. In fact, we've almost never seen them in the field. I don't actually think we ever have, to my knowledge. So if you do see an error code 3 or 4, the best thing to do is to try the resets I described in the previous step. So again, try that soft reset, we call it, when you pull the fuse for 60 seconds, and then the hard reset, which is pulling it off the battery and holding the 2 ring terminals together. If neither one of those resets fixes it, make sure to reach out to customer service. Lastly, we have an error code 7. Now this error code 7 is actually typically a vacuum or a pressure leak, and we have a full video on troubleshooting vacuum and pressure leaks, which I'll leave right here. But a vacuum or a pressure leak doesn't always trip this error. So when you do see the error, it's just a dead giveaway that that's what's going on. And usually this happens during installation, maybe a hose gets nicked or maybe a connection isn't quite secure. And so you'll want to follow the process we lay out in the troubleshooting vacuum and pressure leaks video to kind of trace down or hunt down the source of that leak. Once you resolve that, the error should go away, but if for some reason it doesn't, again, reach out to customer service. So that wraps it up, guys. There's really not many error codes on RVibrake Shadow, and to be honest with you, far and away the most common one is going to be that error code 7 because it usually occurs during installation. The others are pretty rare to see, but if you do see one, make sure to reach out to us. We're happy to help. In the meantime, guys, happy RVing. Hey guys, thanks again for joining us. We can't wait for you to dive in a little bit deeper on this channel. We've got tons of other great videos on products, stories, tips and tricks for when you're on the road. Before you go check those out though, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. It may sound a little cliche, but it actually really does help us here on the YouTube side of things to make sure that we can continue to provide this kind of content for you. So if you've got any questions at all, never hesitate to reach out. We always love hearing from you. Guys, in the meantime, happy RVing.